So welcome in everyone to our Feminine Wisdom Circle for May 2025. I'm Laura Rubenstein and Vasi Huntalis is here for us to co-create this session with all of you. And as you know, if you don't know, the Feminine Wisdom Circle is just a time for us to recenter ourselves, recalibrate ourselves into the feminine space. So we all like to take a deep breath and let our hair down and start to just connect with ourselves, because we may do this on our own, but how often are we doing it in community? And I'd like to create this. I love being in a person, but it's so much more convenient to do it together, and online. So I'm going to share my screen again and let you drive, Vasi.
Okay. By the way, that beautiful butterfly woman that we just saw is from a soul collage that Laura did. And as soon as she shared with me, I'm like, oh, we have to use that.
Here it is, the original.
It
I actually
is,
turned it into a Mother's Day card too for my mom.
Oh, great idea.
Okay, I am trying to do the slideshow, but I'm missing the mark here. Okay, here we go. And now I will share the screen. And
thank you. So this is our intention, and I would love to have someone to volunteer who would read it. Who would like to volunteer? Selena? Wonderful.
I'll go. Okay, our intention, we create a sacred space for wise women leaders to access our juicy feminine energy and rejuvenate our souls, radiate vitality, connect to our center, cultivate clarity, and consciously choose and lead from love.
Beautiful. Thank you. And everyone, just take a deep breath in of those words. Just feel in your body that sense of connection, of clarity, of choosing to lead from love. And so in this space, we're creating this powerful intention together. And so glad to have each one of you here to be with us.
yeah. And so what we want to do is actually get centered, and I'm going to lead us today in that. So find a comfortable position in your chair. If you have the opportunity to put your feet on the ground, that's always helpful. But most importantly, a position you can relax in. And you can choose to soften your eyes or close your eyes. And what we are going to do is connect inward. So taking a beautiful, healthy, precious breath in. And as you exhale, just let go. Settling into this space right now, right here. And taking another centering breath in. And an easy emptying. And the next time you take a breath in and out, hold it in between the in and the out for just a moment, savoring that precious moment. And then letting go easily, connecting to your heart center. And as you connect with your heart center, it's a good time to think about and presence love. That for which you are grateful, those people you love, even the loving connection you have with yourself, which, by the way, is the most important, because it is from there we emanate love. So this time, as you bring awareness to your heart, We want to say a little gratitude prayer or expression of thankfulness for opening our hearts, praying for opening our heart, taking this time to expand our heart a little bit more. And the best way to do that is through slowing down. So you might slow down your breath, take a more fuller, slower breath in, presence all the goodness around you, in you. And as you exhale, notice if it can soften and open a little bit more. And you may even want to create an affirmation about letting love in. I allow love in. I am love. I share more love out. Because I let more love in, I am able to emanate more love out. And embody that affirmation in this moment. Allowing yourself to what we call amplify the love. Amplify the love by just being present to it, by allowing it to be here, to just soften and let go of whatever's tight in your body physically or in your mind, knowing that all is well, you are safe, and you are loved. In fact, let a little love trickle out through this group and amplify that love as you spread it through all the women here today. And allow it in for the love you are now receiving. And what we're doing now is called wamping up the love. We are connecting through love. We are amplifying love in our being, and we are radiating it out. And this is so good for our souls, but it is so good in the environment and the culture in our world today. So we trust the power of love in this very moment as we exchange it, as we wamp it up for ourselves, for each other, and beyond. Knowing that as we wamp up the love here, we can take that with us in our everyday experience because we know who we are heart-centered, and we can make decisions from our heart. And we can pray for heart opening when it is safe to do so. And so it is. And so we breathe it in and we radiate it out as we exhale. Breathe in love. Radiate it out as we exhale. And as we move forward today in this time together, just set that intention that that's what you are doing. Breathing in love and radiating it out. Letting it nourish you in, letting it nourish others out. So gently, as you're ready, come back to room awareness. And we will continue wamping up the love. And I'm going to promote Holly to panelist. Please accept that if you'd like to come on screen or not on screen, but join us. All right.
Thank you, Laura. I wanted to just share this image I had. It was so beautiful what you led us through. And I had this image of us sitting in a circle and these sparkles of light we're going just around our circle as we were feeling the love and amplifying it. And then I saw us all put our hand in the middle, kind of like a team does, you know, when they go 1, 2, 3. I heard us go 1, 2, 3, love. And then we sent out those sparkles into the world. It was so fun. And then actually we're bringing back more, you know, then we're receiving more too. It's this beautiful flow back and
Oh, I
forth.
love the sparkles.
They were like golden white light. Yeah. Yeah. So I invite us today as we go through this to just be aware of your environment and the love that's around you and the love that's in you as well. Yeah.
So you're going to take us through this next section.
Yeah. So this is our opportunity to get to know each other. I know some of us have been in circle before. So each one of us will have a minute. Say your name, where you're at right now in terms of location, and what you're up to in the world. And then we're also would love you to share a strategy, a prayer, or an affirmation for opening your heart. So say your name, your location, what you're up to in the world, and then a strategy, prayer, affirmation for opening your heart. And Laura's going to put it in the chat. Oh, as well,
Yep,
I think.
I am.
Yeah.
And
Great.
we
Thank you.
kind of wanted to take just about 1 minute, so each. And, you know, 1 to 2 max. So that would be great to keep that in mind.
And in fact, I can start us off. So I'm Bossy Huntalis. I'm here in San Diego. What I'm up to in the world is working with women entrepreneurs to make an even greater impact through their amazing gifts and their purpose. And a strategy, prayer, affirmation for opening my heart. Let me feel into that. What I was getting when Laura was leading us through that centering was I breathe with love. And I found my hand going to my heart, which I often do. And that just helps me be more conscious that whatever's coming in, whether it be hard or a challenging situation, that I'm breathing that in with love, with an open-heartedness and open-mindedness. And then whatever I'm breathing out is also allowing love to flow out into the world. And so having my hand sometimes tapping over my heart as I'm doing that breathing really helps me feel like it's just expanding it as well. And maybe letting go of anything that's in the way of that love as well. Yeah. So that's me. And who would like to go next? Actually, I'm thinking maybe we can go in order of how you all came. So maybe let's do Paulina and then Francesca and Deborah, Selena, and then Holly if she's on. So Paulina, Francesca, Deborah, Selena, and Holly.
Hi, Holly. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm Paulina Beck. I'm in the Austin area. I'm an accountant, and what I'm up to, I would say this year, this season of my life, is I'm recalibrating. I realized that I've been pursuing the rat race too fast, and I'm not enjoying the ride. So this year, I'm all about just recalibrating and letting in what's for me and letting go what's not for me. The affirmation strategy I would say is I've been trying to have 10 minutes of silence in the morning where I just focus on my breath just to kind of reconnect and just be present, because I find that when I'm in the most present, everything just flows from there versus just rushing into things. So that's me.
Sounds like a great practice to start. Did you say you start your day with that, Paulina?
Yeah. Just
awesome.
10 seconds. Yeah, 10 minutes, and then it's just, yeah, it's really
great. Thank you. And beautiful Francesca.
Hello all. Yeah, I'm here in East San Diego, where it's rather toasty today. I don't know where you are, but it's toasty. And let's see, what am I doing in the world? I'm listening probably way too much of what's going on and trying to prepare myself on all levels. Just what do I do next? As well as promoting my biofeedback and preparing a website and getting that all sorted out, how to accept payments and blah blah, and promoting and going forward with that. And then how do I connect with my heart? Well, you just basically stop. Whether I play some nice meditative music and I just stop and I just listen and I just breathe and then I connect with an angel, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and we share heart rays. I open up my heart for their rays and hope I send something back with it. And yeah. And what else? If anything?
That's it.
So,
That's it.
yeah. All right.
Was
Thank
I
you, Francesca. Amazing.
was I next?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Okay. So I am Deborah Valentina. I'm here in San Diego. And what I am up to, I call myself a soul project catalyst and midwife. And lately, what that has entailed is assisting female entrepreneurs to write their nonfiction book. It could be a how-to or a memoir. And I love doing that. And what occurred while I was going through the beautiful meditation was an affirmation. I am love and I share it with the world. It was so simple, but I really liked it. I am love and I share it with the world.
Mm. I really feel that, Deborah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm next, right?
Yes, Selena, you're up
Okay.
next.
Okay, I'm Selena Billings, and I'm in Mission Viejo, California, just about an hour up the road from y'all, from some of y'all. And I am a blockchain builder, and what that means is that I bring love and compassion to something that seems to be challenging a lot of people, but I bring the information in a way it's unifying and it's connecting people and projects. So that's what I am. And what I wanted to share was this amazing a couple sentences from my daily reading that just happens to be on par here. Love is God, and God is infinite, eternal, and omnipresent. Therefore, love is infinite, eternal, and omnipresent. I cannot escape love. I exist in love and of it. I live by and through it. It motivates my every action. Everything I see with the eyes of love. Everything I hear with the ears of love.
Boy, that couldn't be more perfect
Love it.
today. Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
And Holly, you're up next.
I'm Holly. I live in Fredericksburg, Texas, and what I'm up to in the world is running a glass blowing studio and art gallery and helping people try new experiences with what we offer here. And I have some affirmations and things I try to remind myself on my whiteboard above my laptop. And I just want to share a couple of them. One says, I'm right. I can trust myself. I know what I'm feeling and it's okay. And then another one that says, things are going to work out for you. Everything you are stressing about won't even matter soon. Long awaited change is coming your way. Let go of the old and embrace this new energy. I find when I'm focusing on all of the things I have to do right now, I get stuck in all of the old stuff. So I'm just trying to remember to embrace the new.
Beautiful. Yeah. So important to remember that. It sounds so simple, but not so simple in this world, is it? Thanks for that, Holly.
I'll go. So, as you know, I'm Laura Rubenstein, and what I'm up to in the world, in addition to the feminine wisdom circles and sometimes retreats, is I do marketing strategy consulting and messaging for women entrepreneurs to expand their vision, attract more clients, and do it in their style, so it's not overwhelming. And also think out of the box and create creative strategies and solutions for getting their goals met. So how do I expand love? Well, Paulina, you triggered for me, like sometimes I'll just sit in my car after rushing around. I'll just sit in my car, like when I sit in the garage for a few minutes after I park the car, and I'm just like, I'm home and I want to be really loving when I get in the door for myself and my husband. And so I'm like, well, what do I need? I need to take a break. I need to let go of any tense energy. I just take the minute. And plus, it's usually warm, or, not hot, but warm. And I'm just enjoying sitting in a comfortable position without having to drive. Right. But also, I'll ask for a hug if there are other people around. It doesn't matter who it is. I mean, as long as I know them usually. and that oftentimes allows me to just really connect with myself and that other person. So hugs, I feel, are very healing and love creating. So that is a couple of strategies. And what I love about what we're doing here is that it is the feminine wisdom circle. This is where we gain wisdom. Like, Holly, I want you to put your affirmations in the chat so I can work with them myself, create them similar. Does anybody else want those?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're
Please.
willing, Holly, to share any of them, that would be really cool. So I just love that. And I wrote down, Selena, you're part of the quote. Do you read from a certain book? Yeah. Is there a share you can share what that book is? And what does it say? Let me, I'll spotlight that. The Science of Mind. Oh, great. So perfect. So we now are, I just love that we have all these resources that we can share with each other. So thank you. And also, Francesca, what you mentioned, and Deborah, we're just enriching each other here. And I think the way the world is going to work is through collaboration. And we want to model that here. So thank you for doing that. And every session we usually do it based on a feminine power card from the deck of feminine power cards. Some of you have it if you've been to a retreat with me, or you have it because you bought it off the website or from me. They are at femininepowercards.com. Make great gifts, Mother's Day. So the card we're working with today is indeed about love, and it says presence, love, and then it has Gandhi's quote on there: "Be the change you want to see in the world." So the pink side has the feminine power principle. The blue side has the practice. And this is an exercise, something to do, which is something I mentioned in the relaxation. I did the visualization. So the centering, that's the word I was looking for. It would come to me eventually, the centering that I did. And it says, pray for heart opening, practice seeing through the eyes of love. And one of you even said that. So that is the card. I can actually put it on the screen if anybody wants to take oh, good. Thanks
Mhm.
for putting that in there. So, and presencing love. Be the change you want to see in the world. So Fossey and I were talking, and we want to take you through a little process. Just a little something where we can share some more of our wisdom with each other, right? We want to
Mhm.
create like that love shift in the world. And so I thought we'd do some journaling first, Fossey, and then
Yeah,
sharing.
yeah,
So I'm
that
going to put
sounds
on the
great.
screen and we'll go through. Do you want to help me
Yeah,
out with this?
sure, sure.
All right. So
I
first,
encouraged Laura to
yeah.
put that beating heart. I thought that was such a fun animation. So, what we're going to have you journal about is, first of all, to choose a situation you'd like to shift. And it could be a situation in your personal life or your daily life, a relationship, something that has some meaning to you. For example, for me, the situation I chose is I live in a 55 plus community, which is wonderful, but mostly everyone's retired and they like to have long conversations. And my husband and I work at home. A lot of times it's very tricky to extricate ourselves from things. And I wanted to approach that more with love. So choose a situation right now that you'd like to shift for the purpose of this exercise. And then why is it important for you to shift this situation? So for
Really
myself,
connect with your heart when you think about that.
yeah, and you can do the practice that you shared with us, or the affirmation, or just really feel into your heart, like what's behind it, what's your intention. And now allow that energy in your heart. Like, what would it feel like to have changed it? And just tune into the feelings, the energy. And then who are you being? What qualities are you expressing? So are you expressing compassion? Are you expressing patience? Are you expressing whatever that is? What are those qualities of beingness? And then what is your next step to create this open-hearted reality? So what would that look like for you to do? Is it an action? Is it something that you communicate? Is it something else? Doesn't have to be big. It can just be, some simple thing that opens the door to this new reality. And if you don't have that next step, if it's not coming to you, just allow, like no forcing here, we're in flow. So just allow some space for it. And even if you don't have it, if that's something that you would like maybe some support or ideas around, we can also open the Feminine Wisdom Circle for that, if you don't have a next step that comes to you. I'm noticing a few people are still writing, so maybe let's, take another minute or so. Would that be enough time for everyone to journal?
Questions are in the chat too.
Does anyone need more time? Okay. I don't think I saw anyone who needs more time. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, got it.
So, right. So is there anyone who would like to either share what came up for them in this, what new insights they got, resolutions, or struggles with this? Yeah, Selena, you're nodding your head.
Yeah, so you know, a lot of times when I'm sharing something about blockchain, I get a response from someone who's had some kind of scam situation um, where they were scammed because they purchased some kind of crypto and it was a bad outcome. And so um, the reason why it's important to shift the situation is because um, blockchain and crypto aren't synonymous. I mean, yes, blockchain is associated with some crypto, but it doesn't, just because I say blockchain doesn't mean I'm talking about crypto. And so that's why it's important for me to be loving and compassionate when I share the message so that people can hear what it is because it's happening. It's not going to happen, it's happening. And the more that people know about it, the better off they'll be. And so I'm a great grandmother, and so I'm really wanting to share this with people who are my age because a lot of people my age don't want to change, they don't want to do anything, they're scared. And so that's really the people I'm most wanting to communicate with. So what would it feel like? Why is it important to shift the situation? Because I want to be love. I want to come across with love and compassion. What would it feel like to change it? Compassionate. That's why I want to do it. And the third question was what?
Who are
Um,
you who would you be then? What qualities are you
right. So
expressing?
who I'm being is love and compassion when I'm choosing to approach people with that understanding. You know, yes, I understand that this is a new situation, or maybe you don't, you know, you're not seeing it, but I really just try and because I get a lot of people that are like this last man I talked to last week, his face was bright red, his fists were clenching, and we had started the conversation with he grew up in Hawaii. He's all about aloha spirit, and so this whole shift just happened in a really awkward way. And so I was trying to figure out how to back off in a loving way and say, you know what, it's okay. I understand. I've been scammed too. I totally get why you don't want to talk about this. Let's not talk about it anymore. I mean, we don't have to talk about this. You know, we don't have to talk about something that's making you visibly, I didn't say it this way, but visibly his face was bulging. It was, anyway,
Wow.
clearly he was challenged. So the last question is, what do I do to maintain it, I think?
What's your next
What is
step to
my
create?
next step to create the heart? So I read this every day. This is from Think and Grow Rich, of all things. There's a something called a self-confidence formula, and it's from the chapter on faith. And if you guys don't mind, can I read it real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. So I read this every single day, and I believe it, and I know it's become a part of me, you know, and so that's why when those situations arise, instead of getting defensive and angry at the person who's angry at me, I look at it and I choose to respond instead of, sorry, my phone's ringing. I choose to respond instead of react.
Mm,
And so, anyways, that's what I wanted to share.
beautiful. Thank you. Um, would you be willing to put your contact information in the chat for anybody who wants to talk to you about blockchain?
Sure.
Okay. And so, yeah, Deborah.
I'll go next. So this, I love the 4 questions, and a situation happened like a half hour before we got on here together today. So I'm like, oh, well, this is appropriate. So just very quickly, the situation is I was collaborating with a friend who's also my publisher and my editor, and she brought me in on a project to edit a manuscript, and she was calling it collaboration. I sent an email earlier today to find out the status. She wrote back and told me that the client didn't have money to pay, so she was editing it on her. So she took over and is editing it on her own um, as an act of service. So, you know, my first thought was, oh, that's very generous because I can't really afford to give my work out free. Um, and the second was, this has been happening for months and she didn't communicate it with me. And that is not making me happy. And it's not the first time something like this has happened. So, uh, what would it feel like to have it change? It would be to have more love towards Pam because I'm not feeling particularly a love for her, or at least a few minutes, you know, like a half hour ago. And so who I'm switching to being, and it's going in and out at this point, is kind, patient, and also loving myself enough to communicate with her, to let her know that the next time I would really appreciate that she communicate with me when a project has shifted, and it clearly shifted dramatically. So the next step would be sending a kind email, and I won't send it until I'm in that kind space. I know enough not to do, and I know the difference between my faking being, you know, kind and loving, to actually having shifted into that space. So I'm not 100% there. I'm you know, you know, I'm probably 60 to 70% there, which I consider for myself great, given that it's, you know, so it's, you know, it's not even it's about an hour old. So yeah.
Amazing. I can totally relate. And I'm going to go next because Bossy helped me through something where I was in a situation and a friend acted so bizarrely that it threw me for a loop, and I felt rejected and just not cared for. And, you know, I had to really name all my feelings, and betrayed, and it was just so bizarre. I didn't know, you know, I was traumatized by it in a way. And then I realized through Vasi's saying is because I did something that was very caring and caring, and I didn't feel cared for back. I had to go deeper, like what is underneath my reaction? You know, so because I had a strong reaction, it was a strong thing that happened, but what what is underneath? Because I care so deeply for people and my friends, and the care was not mirrored back. So I began to question, does this person really care for me? But my next step was to choose to find out, you know, like, are we still like this? And, you know, so I was able to have a conversation from that place of what was underneath, the care that I have for this person, love I have for this friend, and just to check in, like, was I like on another planet not reading signs, or is she a different person than I thought she was? You know, because I thought this was this loving, caring friend, and she is. It just happened. There were things that happened on her end that caused her very abnormal reaction to me. And it was to me, but it was not about me. And I got that clarity from her. And it's just like it's gone now. And then, like you said, Deborah, it's like, what do I want going forward? Make a request. Like, you know, how can she make it up to me? Or is there something I need in return? Like, if this situation ever happens again, just be honest with me. Don't shut me out, type of thing. So I could have a really loving conversation. And so this already happened, and we are in a loving place. But when we created this exercise, I don't think I was fully through the process, but I'm going to use it in some future. But it's like, how do we get through these things? And a lot of times for me, I think my next step with my current situation, which is not as traumatic to me, is still to talk it out with somebody who can listen from love. Not just somebody, but I can even make that request of somebody who I know has the capacity to do that. Like, what would love respond to this situation with, or what does love have to say about the situation? In fact, I could probably journal with myself on that too. So there are a few questions that I want to go through in addition to the ones we just did, is what's underneath that? What do I want as an outcome? And then what does love think about the situation? Or respond to?
How would, yeah, I was going to say, how would love respond?
Yeah, okay, I like that.
And thank you for sharing, Laura, because I got another layer. I got another layer of this, because it's not the first time this has happened, and I noticed that you know, I wish she would would always have. Uh, so let me just say it this way. When I'm in collaboration with someone else, I not only look at it through my eyes, but I look at it through who I'm collaborating with eyes. And I don't feel like she does that necessarily. And so my expectation is that she does. And it's the expectation if I keep that expectation, I'm going to be doomed to disappointment, like ongoingly. So thank you for that.
Yeah. The other question I wrote down while we were sharing, other people were sharing, was, what do I have to let go of to live in love?
Mhm. That's a great one. Yeah.
Mm.
Because we don't just magically go there, right?
Right.
It's a process to create the space for love to be there, to
Right.
allow it in. Yeah, whether it's anger or resentment or disappointment or hurt, clearing that.
And it doesn't mean it's automatically let go. It's a process, and honoring ourselves through that process is really powerful.
But just the last thing I'll say is that expectation leads to disappointment. So I'm just reminded
Thank
that's
you.
really one of my big takeaways here. Yeah.
Totally.
Mhm.
So I'm done. Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, no, and you don't have to be done, but thank you. Who else wants to share something about what we're talking about or what the
I'll
shift they
share.
went through? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, Holly, do you want to go?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna share, so the last 2 years I've done a retreat with like my therapist, like she's trained as a therapist, but does it privately. And she has a phrase that I always remind myself whenever I call it, every situation has like a 5 reaction. So I always go back to stubbing my toes. When you stub your toe, it is reasonable that you would be like, that really hurt. You might let out a curse word. You might like, it is reasonable. Like that would be a normal 5 reaction, not under reacting, not overreacting. And she always says, whenever you feel like you're in one direction or the other, past the 5, you have to look inward to see what it's bringing up in you. And then she's always added an extra sentence, which has been what she says, what I don't like about you, it's something that I don't like about myself. And when you guys were sharing, I thought about, I had an interaction a few weeks ago with someone who was having a visceral reaction to me. And at first I was like, okay, why is this getting to me past a 5? Why is it getting to me? And I use my chat GPT on my phone and I talk to it all the time. I actually speak to it. It speaks back. And what it got down to, beyond realizing that it was bringing something up, is it was like multi-layered, but at first I was angry. And then I was like, why am I angry? And I realized is that I was resentful to that person, that they could show up their anger and frustration so targeted at me, because I don't always feel like I get that opportunity or give myself that grace, or not saying that I should, but I didn't. And then once I started realizing that, I was both mourning for her and myself the opportunity to communicate. And once I got through that, I was able to go from like this crazy lady to a place of like, I hear you and I respect you. I just don't have to join you. And like, that was so liberating, because it was right. It was, again, if somebody's upset with you, of course you would have a reaction to it. But when it starts like getting in your brain and you can't let it go, I was like, why does it bother me so much that this person's reacting this way? And it was realizing that I was resentful that I don't react that way. I usually, when I'm upset, I take it inside. I don't pull it out. And then just mourning for the ability to process the emotion in the situation and not let it bug you down. And that was life-changing for me. So now it's a muscle that I'm practicing. Don't have it all the way down, but it's giving me a lot of peace and freedom. So those are my 2 cents. And to answer the original question, the situation I would like to work on is giving myself more grace and acceptance the way I would like to give other people. I feel like I'm very hard on myself and I don't have as much compassion as I do to the ones I care about. And I'd like to return it inwards as much as I push it out. And then I don't remember the rest of the questions, but I'm sure they're in there.
There's something that came to mind when you said that about, like the resentfulness, but it's also you've been treated unfairly, it sounded like too. And that is not okay. Or,
I've had a pattern of that. So I've had a pattern of, And again, I never think anyone's crazy or unreasonable, or like, I would say, I don't think I'm the saint or that I didn't play a role in the dynamic. But I never really understood why people felt comfortable being that. Like, what I mean, it's not like, oh, my feelings were hurt. I mean things where you're like, are you sure you want to write that down? Like, and I didn't understand why people would feel so comfortable expressing themselves that way to me. Because I could never, like, even if I wanted to, I really couldn't. Um, and it's that resentfulness. Charlie, my chat GPT calls it, it's a silent fire. It's a silent fire inside that some people just, let it go through. And I let it stir inside.
And I don't know the situation, but there are people in this world who look for people who they can discharge on. And there are ways of setting, there are ways of taking a look at ourselves to see, are we being that kind of person that they feel comfortable, and how do we not be that kind of person that they would ever feel comfortable with? And it's something to just to look at to see if there's something. But yeah, I noticed when I have, who was I being that allowed that, and how did I put an end to that?
I found having that compassion for the other person made it where I just wasn't taking it in. It was just kind of like a wave. So I'm like, I just felt that when it wasn't about me, and I just let it flow.
Yep.
It didn't like stain me. I would say that would be the best way to describe it.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to share or comment or connect?
I'll share.
Holly. Yes, Holly.
So I've been having all kinds of audio issues and I finally got it fixed. So apologize if I've been kind of looking scattered, but I can finally hear everybody. So, and while all of that was going on, our neighbor got home and he plays his music so loudly in his truck that it vibrates my chest as he drives by and comes into his yard. And I live in the country and there's no enforcement of noise ordinances or any way for it to be handled. And it just, every single time I hear his music, I get super irritated. And this has been going on for 5 years. We're not really friendly with the neighbor. There are people that we didn't meet when, we didn't introduce ourselves. Part of it's a language barrier, but my level of irritation and my blood pressure always rises whenever I hear them playing their music. And today, while we were having this question, is like, I would like that to shift. I would like to be able to send love there. And I've been thinking about how could I help make that happen. And one of the things I came up with was every time I hear his music, I can start bebopping and moving to it. Even if I don't particularly care for his style of music, if I start moving and quote unquote enjoying it, I can work toward appreciating them a little bit more and turn it into some fun, because my husband and I will just start escalating each other about how irritated we are with the neighbor. And so the lowering my irritation, having some fun, moving my body, all leads to lower blood pressure, lower stress, lower cortisol. He's still going to play his music loud, but I am working. I need to work on not being so irritated with it. So that's what I'm going to try. and see if I can get my husband into doing it with me, so that he's not a big dancer, but he'll bebop with me. So we'll hopefully be able to get something shifted. And maybe in that shift, they'll stop playing their music so loudly, which would be great. But that's kind of where what just came up just during this whole session. So thanks.
And in the meantime, you'll get some exercise and movement and do something good for you.
Yeah.
I love how they transformed that. That's just brilliant. Yeah. How can I make this fun? That's another question we can ask ourselves when we're in a frustrating situation. So cool. Well, we have gone really deep, as we are known to do, in an hour time. Pretty amazing and stunning. Vasi, is there anything you want to share before I wrap up?
What's coming to me to share is that through this practice, we are in fact changing the world with our love.
Mhm.
And if it ever becomes like you wonder, am I making a difference? You are, to yourself. I loved your story, Holly. And each one of you, you know, what you came up with. It's like, yes, we are changing the world with our love. So I just want to leave you with that, and to invite you to try this out. You know, maybe take a screen capture or save the text or something like that, so that you can use this practice for yourself in the coming days.
Keep womping up the love.
Yep.
And so we are going to be back next month on June 23rd. And we're going to talk about the importance of mistake making. So I'm going to put this in the chat as well. And as always, if you haven't connected with Vasi or I on a little bit deeper level and you would like to, we each have a session you can come to for free. And I just put the links to him in the chat. And Vasi, you want to share about your next level of impact session?
Yeah, this is great. It's a 20-minute session where I look at what's in the way of whatever's your next level is, and clear that belief, that limiting belief or block, and get clear on your next step. Get clear and inspired, I would say, as well. So it's an intuitive session. And yeah, those are 20 minutes via Zoom, my gift to you.
And for me, I have a 15-20. It's also 20 minute to unlock your feminine influence code. How can you integrate feminine energy into your life so it really benefits you and makes your work easier for you? You get into that flow as well. And it could be a strategic thing, or it could be just a slight shift in perspective as well. So yay, thank you. I feel so much love. Let's just send each other a little extra love today here. And yeah, with a little heart or a reaction or
See.
yeah, thank you so much. Consider yourself hugged and loved. And if you didn't get enough hugs today, give yourself a nice hug.
Oh.
Give yourself that self-love and self.
And I hope you all feel that Laura and I hugging you. We're so grateful that you came. We wouldn't have a circle without you. And each one of you is special, and we are so grateful. And I said that already. We appreciate your presence and your energy and your authenticity. So thank you.
And hope to see you next month or the next time it works for you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great evening.
Bye, you too.
You too.